didn't get the thumbs up.
Yeah, it just went.
Welcome to Build Across. Scarlett's gone to Florida again.
We'll give you the address.
Drop in and see her.
I don't remember where they were going. Somewhere.
38 Seaside.
Oh.
Oh, you didn't know? You couldn't tell?
No.
You didn't see the subtle hints on the car and on the shirts? So today I'm gonna do something fun for y'all. I'm gonna show you how I paint a cypress tree, which is super easy. I'm gonna be using a brush, a pencil, and a palette knife today. I took an 18-inch white pine circle that was stained with early American stain, still one of my favorites. And then I painted a little more than half of it with Spanish moss. This is Spanish moss. So I thought I would use the Spanish moss color under the black for the cypress tree. And then when I take it to Canton, somebody will be able to vinyl the bottom. So I just want to show you how simple and easy this is and how you can do this too. So even you, it's so easy. And the more messy it is, the more people are like, oh my gosh, so cute. But I had designed a cypress tree.
You need to hire a 4-year-old.
I had designed a cypress tree T-shirt for a local business, and it was a real popular seller. So I'm going to use a piece of tape here to tape off my base so that I don't get the black past the line of the Spanish moss. Just going to put that down. I took a pencil. Can they see my drawing on the screen?
No, but they can see Tony in the corner.
Hey, Tony.
It does show.
Okay, I took a pencil and I just drew some little cypress knees here. I drew my straight tree up. It curves a little bit and some lines coming out to the side for my limbs. I'm going to start out with my palette knife and my caviar. That's all I'm using, caviar. You can, and then Spanish moss for the base. Dip my palette knife in. When you're working with a palette knife, it's good to try and hold it straight down. So to make my actual tree, I'm going to use the edge of my knife on the edge of where I put my pencil, and I'm just going to drag it just a little bit. It doesn't need to fill in the whole space. I'm going to come up, because cypress trees kind of have that skirting around the bottom. I'm just going to pull it across here to give it some bark looks. I'm going to pull it all the way up here to give my tree its shape. And I'm going to come back from the other side and pull in. Kind of like when I showed y'all how to do the, what trees were those? Birch trees?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, kind of like that. Only we're doing cypress trees now. And I'm going to do a little bit of marking in the middle because they have bark on them, of course. This is so simple to do. Even somebody dumb like Billy could do it.
Yeah. The one that showed Sarah how to do it. We were in art school together. I was working on my PhD while she was a freshman.
Yeah. Nope. Billy fantasizes about who he could have been if he'd ever put some effort into his life.
Y'all are getting nasty today. I'm staying out of it.
Nasty people.
Okay, so look at that. What, 30 seconds? And I've got my whole tree shape here. Isn't it gorgeous? Now I'm going to do my little knees.
What are you giving away today? Let's just do some store credit, I think.
Store credit.
We'll do $20 store credit on Build Across.
I'm going to use the tip of my palette knife to round the top of my cypress knee. Be a little one in the background there. One right here. Cypress knee. Cypress knee. Isn't that where they come up for air?
That is a good question. It doesn't sound...
I think it is, where the roots come up to breathe. Because cypresses grow in water.
Yeah.
Or around water. And so
I'll give it to you.
the roots come up from the ground to
I used
breathe.
to have a paranoia about walking through the water where there's a bunch of them, thinking like if I fall, like it would just impale me.
Did you really?
They'll hurt you.
Yeah. So I used to like go, when I was a kid, I'd go hunting and stuff like that, and then just on my mind, like, oh no.
My favorite thing is when
valid.
when you go to like craft shows and stuff, and people have taken them and carved on them, like a cypress tree Santa Claus.
Yeah, I made one before in art class.
Billy is not an artist. He's a doctor.
I'm talking about 4th grade or 5th grade.
He's a doctor.
I'm sure it was great.
Okay, so there's my knees and my tree trunk. I'm going to turn it around now and do my limbs. They're pretty thin, so I'm just going to kind of pull out with them. I'm not going to like try to make them a certain shape or anything because I'm going to put moss on them in a minute. So just kind of give yourself a little limb here. You can have a little offshoot. Just use the tip here. I know. So easy. I have a thing for trees. I love painting trees. All right. Are they really being this quiet, or are y'all not reading me any comments?
Oh, I'm just typing.
Playing your games, your computer games.
We're just watching through.
I'm mesmerized. I like how you made it look like you literally threw the paint on there with absolutely no worry and just let it fall.
It looks good, Sarah. Shut up, Bill. It looks so carefree.
Are you saying it doesn't look good, Billy?
No.
I feel like
I'm joking.
I feel like
girl.
you're low key.
No, that was pretty high key.
Wasn't much shade there.
Low key.
I do like it. I love cypress stuff. Like they're very I don't know. I guess they're kind of nostalgic because I grew up near woods that had tons of them.
The artwork from your neck of the woods is all that too. Like
yeah,
every gas station or restaurant you go in has
like
it.
Sketches of cypress trees and egrets, plantation homes, whatever.
Egrets. Are those the white ones?
Cowbirds.
Yeah.
Okay. Do a few little offshoots with the edge of my thing, my palette knife.
And Carrie said they're really quiet because they're watching you. They're watching.
Okay.
Is that dark green or black?
This is caviar black, and underneath it is Spanish moss.
We said it looked good, Sarah.
Thanks, y'all.
With early American stain on the yellow pine around? White pine.
White pine. Needed a little confirmation from my people, and I got it. Okay, so now I'm done with the palette knife portion. I am going to dry it just a little bit. I'm all tangled up because Billy didn't tell you.
What is that tool called that you're using? That's palette knife.
Palette knife. Yeah. You can get those at Walmart or in an art store. You could use, but you don't even have to have a palette knife. You could use the edge of your credit card or your driver's license. Anything like that would create the line that you want to use, right?
Yeah. Are your fingers?
No, not your
like
fingers.
You learned in art school.
Not your fingers, really.
Yeah, I never took art school that way. I don't think anybody saw any promise in my doodles, you know.
They didn't send you to art school?
No. My brother was a good artist, but it just.
Can you see my thing here? What do you call that? The palette. My palette. I just want to show you that I'm gonna dip my brush in the black and put some out just a little bit, and then I'm gonna dip it in the water, and I'm gonna get it super thin. Super duper thin, like water, like as if it were a watercolor almost. And I'm going to use that little watercolory mixture to fill in the other parts of my tree.
Oh, you guys should see this in person.
I can't stand you. to fill in the other parts of my tree to kind of separate it from the background, make it look more like a full-on
Do
tree.
you ever do watercolor painting? I think I
No, I mean I did in college and in high school. We had our it just wasn't my favorite. My college professor was an oil painter, so his focus on what he taught us was what he was good at, and it made me love oil painting. You know, like so it made me specialize in that too because that was his passion.
Yeah, and you kind of get to mimic that using these thicker chalk paints. Right?
Yeah, it's not. I mean, like with oil paintings, it takes time to dry, and you can go back and you can blend really well. That's why I'm such a blender.
Deborah says, "Thanks for teaching us how to paint this. I am so inspired."
I want to see everybody do one of these. So, anyways, I'm using this really thin caviar paint now to create this watercolor look that is just giving me a solid tree from what I did with my palette knife. I'm filling in the space around the limbs, giving you more of I'm bringing out my limbs a little bit in a thin area. If you start to run out, dip it again. But when it dries, you just see that you have more of a tree look here. Filling in the spaces. Giving myself some offshoots here. Still painting this upside down. Don't be afraid to turn your piece around different directions to get to what you want to get to. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I literally when I teach classes, and people are struggling with eyes and noses and ears and stuff, or struggling with whatever they're painting, I am like, okay, stop and turn your picture upside down and quit trying to paint the shape. Like, quit trying to paint an eyeball and paint the shape that you see. Like, there's a white dot here, there's a black dot there.
We did a whole series of those things, like where you had to do your work upside down.
Yes.
Just to get you, isn't it to make you use those out of your brain or something too?
Yeah, it could be.
Instead of going out of memory, you really have to.
For me, it's like it totally helps you quit like struggling to paint a face and start painting the shapes. That's how it helps you to quit seeing what you're looking at and think outside the box, I guess. You learned about that in art school too?
I didn't go to art class. I did some years of them. I did them through like 10th grade in high school. So it makes me pretty much just as educated as you.
Does it?
Yeah.
I educate myself.
If you don't these days, you're in trouble.
But the beauty of the internet these days is you can find just about anything you're looking. You know, if I'm like Googling something, grass painting, or you can find instructional videos, samples. All right, so there's the basis of my tree right there. Now I'm going to use this same brush to create some like what would be the greenery, and I'm just going to use my watered down stuff right here. I'm going to make it just a little bit darker, and I am going to come out to the ends, and I'm going to do just kind of like a messy little area. Not much. I'm just dabbing.
Foliage. What is cypress? Is it evergreen? No, I don't know what it's really considered.
I'm not going to do much because you really don't see them with much foliage on them.
No, they don't. They never do.
But a little bit won't hurt.
Maybe it's some moss.
Well, I'm going to do that.
On time as a customer watching that.
Yes.
Yeah, it's the white pine round, 18 inches.
18-inch white pine round. I'm just going to give it a little bit because I'm going to come back in just a minute and do my hanging moss part.
We ought to sell palette knives. We don't sell palette knives. Let's get some palette knives and sell them on the website. So
We now sell palette knives.
Yeah. We'll get some from wherever. Walmart. Resell them.
Okay, so not much, just a little bit here and there.
Sarah's gonna start curating a couple like product collections here and there where you can literally take what she's painting on live, buy all the stuff as a kit, and voila, try to replicate it.
You heard it here first.
Because I just thought of it just now. You gotta hold me to it now.
Yeah. Okay, so there's my little foliage areas. I'm not sure if it's just jumbled up moss or what. But now I'm going to, wait, let me give you a little bit here. One thing I'm doing while I'm putting these on, it's not just random, but I'm trying to even out the space.
Oh, Betty says, yeah, palette knives, Dixie Belle does. So we can just add theirs. I've never seen theirs.
Okay. Now, I'm going to use one other product. I'm going to use my Sharpie. This isn't the brush marker. It's the oil painter black in the thin, I think it's the thin point, the fine point. Not ultra fine though. This is the fine point, but not the ultra fine. Okay, this is the fun part. So the way that I do this moss, and you could practice if you wanted to, is literally just like loop-de-loops. You could practice if you wanted to beforehand, just to make sure. Don't be afraid to put your pin down and do it though. So I'm going to start on the end and come in, and I'm just gonna do some little loop-de-loops here, down, do a few right here. I try to just kind of get through it quickly, because if I stop and think about it, I'll probably mess up. But you can just add some in here. Literally, just, it's not hard. People will make it hard, but try not to think about it, or not to be like, okay, I'm so nervous, and just do it. Practice somewhere else first. The quicker I go, I think the better it looks, actually. If I just kind of scoot through there and create my little hanging moss ropes and stuff. I love that part of Louisiana and Florida.
You know what else we could do, Sarah? One of these days we can try to let people know well in advance, 2 or 3 weeks ahead of time, something should be painting. Let them get kit, and maybe on an evening, like when more people might go to lunch and actually paint.
Paint with us?
Yeah.
Paint with Sarah?
Paint with Sarah. Hashtag.
I got me one of them hashtags.
Do you?
So,
you do now.
Y'all see that? Y'all see how easy that is? And how it just doesn't take like serious thought processes or.
A couple people said the same thing.
What?
About be nice to have all the stuff at home for all of us to paint with her at the same time.
That would be cool. I've got an upcoming paint party or paint class at the end of this month in Monroe, a Pelican paint class, if anybody is interested in the area. Got a herring paint class next month, and then another pet paint class coming up in May.
Everybody outside Louisiana is like, I mean, is it like a known bird? We just know it because it's a state bird, I think. But
I think people would know what a pelican is. What do y'all think about that? Do you just love it?
I do like it.
I love it. So then I'm going to take my tape off.
Reminds me of a pen and ink drawing a little bit.
Yeah. You can come through and add some really long ones too if you want to. Just try not to stress it or be too perfect. I feel like I might need like even just a little bit of shoots coming up at an angle here. I'm going to do that with my marker just to give it a little more, because I kind of did them really symmetrical. I don't know what I was thinking. After I do that, I'll come back in with my watercolors added into there. You could add on to this, take away from it. No, you can't take away from it. I'm just talking now.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could.
All right. How much time did that take?
Like 20 minutes.
20 minutes,
Yeah,
and you have a great.
We didn't have time for like.
Hey, was that a
insults.
marker or a paint pen? Sorry, guys.
This is a Sharpie painter paint pen. Black. It's the oil based, the fine. You can get them at Walmart. It's the one that I like to use for fine lines and autographs. So what do you think?
Love it.
Love it. You could put a nice little welcome down here.
You could glue some moss on it. Some real moss.
Real moss.
Like in place of a ribbon. Let's make it tacky now.
Tips from Billy. Hashtag tips from Billy. All right. Who's our winners?
Lisa Beth and PA.
Pennsylvania.
For Facebook, it's going to be Lonnie GoFriend.
All right, Lonnie and Lisa Beth, y'all can email us at support@build-a-cross.com. I did that without tripping up. That's how it works. You got to do it fast without thinking, and then you get through it. Just like painting.
Gary said Mardi Gras beats draping. I can see that a little bit.
That would
if it's the
be,
right ones. Yeah, I like metallic.
That would be cool. So,
So what we're doing
anyway.
tomorrow, you know,
I'll try to do something tea tree for y'all tomorrow.
Tea tree?
Tea tree.
Like the shampoo?
If you think of something you would like to see before tomorrow, shoot me a email at support-a-see. I messed up because I was thinking support@build-a-cross.com, or comment to me in @Sarah comment, so I'll get it at Sarah Howell. And let me know, and I'll try, because I'll be doing it today, tomorrow, and Friday for y'all while Scarlett's out of town. Thanks so much. I hope y'all have a great day. Bye.